So last class we discussed about what is the guided wavelength derivation and the phase velocity, group velocity. So and also we saw what is the impedance measurement in TE mode and TM mode. So this is impedance measurement in TM mode. ZLTM is equal to eta into root 1 minus FC by f whole square. Already I told. So any parameter we are expressing in terms of root 1 minus FC by f whole square. So in the same way, TE mode is also ZT is equal to eta into 1 by root 1 minus FC by f whole square. So where is there some eta or you can eta naught you can take is the free space impedance. So free space impedance is 377 ohms. Then ZTM into ZT is equal to eta square. So then the power transmission in the rectangular waveguide. So by using the pointing vector, so you can write the for power transmission in the rectangular waveguide. The PT is equal to surface integral of P into ds. Already we know the power is equal to half into E cross H. So you can write in terms of E or in terms of H. Now this is the power transmission. So another most important thing. So we need to see here is we have the power losses or attenuation in rectangular waveguides. So attenuation in rectangular waveguide. Same thing you can use for the power losses also. Attenuation rectangular waveguide. So same you can use for the or you can write power losses in rectangular waveguide. So same answer you can write. So attenuation nothing but the power loss. So power losses in the rectangular waveguide. So already we know in rectangular waveguide. So already I told the waveguide having some cutoff frequency. Suppose you have the rectangular waveguide. So rectangular waveguide having some cutoff frequency. FC is the cutoff frequency of the rectangular waveguide. Cutoff frequency. So already I told it acts as high pass filter. It is a high pass filter. So then means if the operating frequency, that is you can take F or F naught. If operating frequency is, if F is greater than FC, so then only the wave is propagated in the rectangular waveguide. It means the operating frequency or the wave frequency is more than the cutoff frequency of the waveguide, then only the wave is propagating in the rectangular waveguide. So based on this, suppose if F is less than FC, there is no propagation. Here, no propagation. So based on these two conditions, so we can see the losses or attenuation in the rectangular waveguide. We have two types of attenuation in the rectangular waveguide. So we have divided into two types. So the attenuation of the waveguide divided into two categories. So divided into two categories. So one is the reflective attenuation. So this is valid for F is less than FC. So F is less than FC means there is no wave propagating the waveguide. So is the one F is less than FC, that is called as the reflective attenuation. And second attenuation is you can take the dissipative attenuation. Dissipative attenuation. So dissipative attenuation. So this is valid for F is greater than FC. So here the wave is allowed. Into the rectangular waveguide. So due to the structure of the waveguide, you have the losses. Already I told the time of coaxial cable, the attenuation depends upon the structure of the cable. So here, you can take the rectangular waveguide. What is structure in the rectangular waveguide? So rectangular waveguide is made of with the copper. It's just like a hollow tube, hollow metallic tube. You have only two things here. You have the metal and dielectric. You have the metal and dielectric. We have only two things are there. So due to dielectric, we have dielectric losses. So due to metal, we can say there is a conductive losses. So dielectric loss and conductor loss. So the second one, the dissipative attenuation, we can write the two categories. That is the one we have the dielectric loss One is the dielectric loss, and the second one is the conductive loss or conductor loss. So dielectric loss and conductor loss. So attenuation in the rectangular waveguide or power losses in the rectangular waveguide, we can use the same thing here. So the attenuation in the rectangular waveguide, so depending upon the cutoff frequency, so we can divide into two categories. If the frequency, operating frequency is more than the cutoff frequency, then only the wave is allowed into the waveguide. If operating frequency is less than the cutoff frequency, the wave is not allowed into the waveguide. So already I told it acts as a high pass filter. So based on this relation, so we have the two types of losses or two types of attenuation in the rectangular waveguide. So one is the reactive attenuation, another one is the dissipative attenuation. Reactive attenuation and dissipative attenuation. So reactive attenuation, it is valid for F is less than Fc. This here, F is less than Fc means the wave is not at all entering into the waveguide. The wave is not at all entering into the waveguide. And second one is the, so dissipative attenuation here, the frequency is more than Fc. So the wave is entering into the waveguide. So due to that, we have some losses is there. So here the losses is depending upon the material. Okay, 1 second please. Right. So here the dissipative attenuation means, so the wave is allowed into the waveguide. Okay, so dissipative attenuation. So have the two cases. So based on the structure, we have the dissipative attenuation. So one is the dielectric. So have the material is the hollow metallic tube. We have two materials there. One is the dielectric is there. Another one is the conductor is there. So we have the dielectric losses and conductor losses. Okay, now we can express the equation for the each one. So first one we can see, one is the reflective attenuation. Reflective attenuation. So this is for the Fc is less than Fc. This is for Fc is less than Fc. So what is the equation for the wave propagation? So gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta. So gamma is equal to, so the wave propagation constant. So propagation constant. So alpha is equal to j beta. So in this case, the wave is not allowed. Wave is not allowed means there is no propagation. Therefore, so no propagation. So no propagation means this gamma is equal to 0. So this is, that means, so gamma is equal to 0. You can write alpha is equal to j beta. Now alpha is equal to, so j beta is equal to, so 2 pi by lambda d. So where, so beta is equal to, so this is already we know 2 pi by lambda d. So beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda d. Already we know the lambda d. Lambda d is the guided wavelength. So guided wavelength you can write in terms of, so that is lambda naught into, so lambda g is equal to, so lambda naught into lambda naught by root 1 minus Fc by F whole square. This already we derived in the last class. So now we can write our alpha is equal to j into 2 pi. So lambda d is equal to, this is lambda naught. So by, you can write root 1 minus Fc by F whole square. So this is the, so equation for the attenuation. So in the reflective attenuation, this is for the reflective attenuation. Okay. So this you can write reflective attenuation. So this is, so alpha is equal to, so j 2 pi by lambda into root 1 minus fc by f whole square. Right? This is the reflective attenuation. Now second one we have the, so dissipative attenuation. Dissipative attenuation. So dissipative attenuation, we have the two things. So where this is for the fc is greater than fc, here the wave is entering into the waveguide. So now due to the material, we have the attenuation here. One is the conductor loss and so dielectric loss. So dissipate conduct dielectric loss and so conductor loss. So this you can write. So in case of two things, so one is the dielectric loss. So dielectric loss. So this dielectric loss we can express this alpha d, that is equal to, so sigma d into sigma d by E naught by into 1 minus fc by f whole square. So where sigma d is the conductance conductivity, you can say conductivity of the dielectric. So eta naught is the free space impedance. So these things are available in our material. You please see. And second one is the conductor losses. So this conductor loss. So conductor loss, we have two cases we have here. So one is the, so due to TE mode and TM mode. So TM mode and TE mode. You can take two modes here. So TM mode and TE mode. So this equation also you can remember. This is alpha C, so 2 into RS by, so beta into eta root 1 minus fc by f whole square into this is b square m square plus a cube into n square by a b square m square plus a square into n square. So Napier per meter. In the same way, so TE also there. In our book, we had to take out. There is no place here, right? That one. So you have to remember this. They may be not asking these equations, but this starting point is very important. So what is attenuation in the waveguide? We have the two types of attenuation based on the relation with cutoff frequency. So FC is greater than FC and FC is less than FC. So one is the before entering and after entering. So before entering, the reflective attenuation. So reflective attenuation, so valid for FC less than FC, and if more than FE greater than FC, you have dissipative attenuation. So dissipative attenuation, here the wave is entering into the waveguide. It depends upon the two parameter structure of the waveguide. So structure means, so our waveguide is a metallic tube with a hollow metallic tube. So the two things are there: dielectric material is there and conductor is there. So dielectric loss and conductor losses. So dielectric loss and conductor loss. So now the reflective attenuation. So if FC less than FC, your wave is not at all entering into the waveguide. So the propagation constant is 0. From this, alpha is equal to j beta. So now already j beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda g. So guided wavelength, this will be lambda g. 2 pi by lambda g. So lambda g already we know. So substitute this one. Now this is the attenuation constant. Alpha is the, so this is a pure attenuation constant. So you can take mod also here, this one. Then dissipative attenuation, it depends upon the cutoff frequency. So F is greater than FC, the wave entering into the ring one. So two types, dielectric loss and conductor loss. These equations you can take directly. So no need to derive all these things. So this classification you have to remember. So they may be asked for 2 marks or 4 marks question. Explain about the attenuation. Or same question, you can write for the answer for same this also. So power losses. So power losses in the rectangular waveguide. For that also you can use same thing. Okay. So this is the case for the losses in the rectangular waveguide. Okay. So then we're going to go for the next one. So there is a mode jumping concept is there. Mode jumping. I go for the live here. Mode jumping. Mode jumping. So mode jumping in waveguides. So mode jumping in waveguides. So mode jumping means actually suppose has different modes. What is the dominant mode we have? TE10 is the dominant mode. Dominant mode. So for example, for TE10 cutoff frequencies, you can say suppose 1 gigahertz is the cutoff frequency. 1 gigahertz is the cutoff frequency. So here the operating frequency just more than that. F0 is just more than maybe 1.01 gigahertz like that. Okay. So now, this is the case. So sometimes what happened due to the structure of the waveguide, so this cutoff frequency may vary. This cutoff frequency may vary. Suppose this cutoff frequency may changes to 1 to suppose 1.0.11 like that. So 0.11 gigahertz. That means here this F0 is less than this. That means in this case this is not allowed the signal. Why? Because the operating frequency is less than the cutoff frequency. The cutoff frequency varied because of the structure, maybe improper structure of the waveguide. It will not allow. So not allowed means this TE10 mode is not existing. This is not existing. So then you go for the higher mode. Higher mode in the rectangular waveguide. So that is the possibility in the mode jumping. So mode jumping is it depends upon the arrangement. So this depends upon the waveguide arrangement is that you can avoid mode jumping with proper selection of the waveguide. Okay. So this is depends upon the arrangement of the mode jumping. So it depends upon appropriate exact arrangement. You can say there is a this also there in our book that you can take that one. So mode jumping is lead to increase the attenuation. It leads increase the why? Because higher modes it will increase the attenuation. Higher modes it will increase the attenuation. So how to avoid mode jumping means to avoid mode jumping, we can go for the proper appropriate selection of the waveguide. So to avoid mode jumping, to take appropriate waveguide structure. Appropriate waveguide. So in this way, we can avoid the mode jumping in the rectangular waveguide. Okay. So then we can go for the next one. So then we have the other two topics are there in our case. One is the we have reentrant cavity and called microstrip lines, and we have another one is the called another transmission line. So micro integrated circuits. Microstrip lines and cavity resonators. So cavity resonators and micro strip lines. Okay. So I will remove this. Go for the share. So already these notes morning I sent to your WhatsApp. Please take it. So here I will explain this very simple concept. So here, no need to take all these things. So here only we have the this one. So cavity resonators. This you can have. So cavity resonators. So cavity resonator is a metallic enclosure. It stores the electromagnetic energy. So this cavity resonator is not like not a waveguide. It's just like a metallic enclosure. It will store the electromagnetic energy. So these things we are using in our microwave tubes actually. So these we have the three types. We have rectangular cavity resonators, circular cavity resonators, and reentrant cavity resonators. So three types are there. So here you can take only first point. It's a metallic enclosure. It stores electromagnetic energy, right? So the types of this is not required. So the types of resonators are rectangular cavity resonator, circular cavity resonator, and reentrant cavity resonator. So So these are the shapes are there. Re-entity cavity resonator. So re-entity cavity is a irregular shape of resonators. So these are the just like a 2-unit circuits. So these we are using in our microwave tubes. We have the re-entity cavity is different shapes. So triadal cavity, the radial cavity, butterfly cavity, so tunable cavity and coaxial cavity. So these we are using in our case, in our microwave tubes like Request Klystron. So 2 cavity Klystron, there we are using this, right? So this is the rectangular waveguide cavity. So in rectangular waveguide cavity, so they may ask what to derive the expression for the cutoff frequency. So in reentrant cavity, the important question is, so derive expression for the cutoff frequency. So remaining they may not ask. So here see in our rectangular waveguide, we are assuming the z direction length is infinity, but here there is a fixed. So here see here, so width is A, height is B. So the length is D. D is fixed here. So this is a metallic enclosure, it's fixed. But in the waveguides, this is not fixed. We can take in z direction, it is a infinity. But here it is fixed. So now we have 3 dimensions here, A, B. So D is there. So this is same as our rectangular waveguide only. This is also not required. So here you can see. So same as our rectangular waveguide, h square is equal to gamma square plus so mu square epsilon mu, omega square epsilon mu. So here, so I am taking this propagation constant. So when is the propagation gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta? That also we know. Gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta. So there alpha is equal to 0. That should be 0 for the wave propagation. We have only now alpha is equal to j beta. So alpha square is equal to j square beta square. So j square is -1 minus beta square, right? So from that equation we can take, so omega square epsilon mu is equal to m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square. So here, so this gamma square, I am writing b square here. This gamma square is b square. So a square plus b, this equation I am taking. Gamma square plus omega square epsilon e mu is equal to a square plus b square. So in place of gamma square, I am taking b square minus b square. So that's why it becomes like this. Okay. So omega is equal to omega r at resonant frequency. Here there is no cutoff frequency. We have the resonant frequency, just like oscillator type. The resonant frequency omega is equal to omega r. So beta is equal to pi. So there we can take a is b like that. So a is equal to m pi by a, b is equal to n pi by b. Here I am taking the beta. That beta is equal to pi by d. Pi by d. I am substituting here. Now the cutoff frequency, resonant frequency is equal to this one. So resonant frequency Fr is equal to c by 2 root m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square plus p pi by d whole square. So I have some work. I will come back within 10 minutes. Okay, and close this meeting. I request to join after 10 minutes. All of you, 12:10, you will join once again. Okay. 12:10 we will join.